J.D. Hayworth here, Ed Berliner right there, Newsmax TV host who has been all over this story the past couple of days.
The sound you heard from the newsroom was my jaw hitting the floor, and I'll bet you could hear that all around the country as to what just happened in the NBA. Well, NBA legend Magic Johnson is merely one of those becoming a leading voice in the criticism of LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling and his recorded racial comments that have turned the league, its players, coaches, fans, and society in general inside out. The furor finally reached into the office of NBA Commissioner Adam Silver on Tuesday, where swift and decisive punishment was the only page everyone wanted him to be reading from. What the new commissioner dropped was a bomb the likes of which will change the NBA and perhaps American sport forever.
Effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling for life from any association with the Clippers organization or the NBA. Mr. Sterling may not attend any NBA games or practices. He may not be present at any Clippers facility, and he may not participate in any business or player personnel decisions involving the team. He will also be barred from attending NBA Board of Governors meetings or participating in any other league activity. I am also fining Mr. Sterling $2.5 million, the maximum amount allowed under the NBA Constitution. These funds will be donated to organizations dedicated to anti-discrimination and tolerance efforts that will be jointly selected by the NBA and its Players Association. As for Mr. Sterling's ownership interest in the Clippers, I will urge the Board of Governors to exercise its authority to force a sale of the team, and will do everything in my power to ensure that that happens.
Let's be joined now by a good friend of mine who is a columnist for the Orlando Sentinel, where he has covered sports and the NBA for quite some time. He joins us now, undoubtedly still trying to put his thoughts together, too, because we were both shocked when we heard this. George Diaz joins us right now on the telephone. George, first off, we'll get to the hypocrisy of this whole issue in a moment, but I have got to get your initial reaction when you heard that lifetime ban.
Well, that's the sound you hear is the second jaw dropping, which would be mine. Didn't see it coming. There had been some reports he was going to be suspended indefinitely and fined $5 million. Obviously, he was not fined. He was fined half that much. But the lifetime ban is Adam Silver bringing the pain on Tuesday afternoon for Mr. Sterling, and frankly, kudos to him.
Let's look at this then from the hypocrisy side of this, which your column today in the Orlando Sentinel talked about. The fact that the NBA, specifically former Commissioner David Stern, has known all about the fact that this guy was a billionaire slumlord for years, had Justice Department investigations on against him, had sexism charges, racism charges. They had all this, yet they let this go. So why could anybody be shocked in the least that this has finally happened?
No, I mean, I'm appalled by, and I understand the outrage. I mean, this is certainly is not. I don't consider this a defense of Sterling because he's a racist jerk and anything else you want to throw out there. But the fact that, yes, it's well documented, thoroughly documented, and everybody just seemed to look the other way. And it starts with Stern, and it starts at the top there, and it trickles down all the way to the NAACP that was going to give this clown a Lifetime Achievement Award. As I said in my column, a lifetime achievement for what? Being a racist?
George, J.D. Hayworth here. As we're taking a look at new NBA Commissioner Silver, I'm thinking back in history when Major League Baseball finally decided it was time for a commissioner. Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis comes in, and despite the acquittal of the 8 Chicago White Sox involved in the Black Sox scandal, he banned them from baseball for life. It appears, at least in terms of variations on the theme, what we have with Commissioner Silver is the Judge Landis influence, saying, this is the sport I run, and this is the way I'm going to run it.
There's no question about that. And let's face it, he's going to get ton of public support on this from anywhere, from in-house, from the NBA, from the players, from coaches, from management, from the public, from anybody who obviously detests what Sterling stands for. I do think that if Sterling wants to fight the issue of ownership, he's got a legal battle, because can you force somebody to sell the team simply because he's a jerk and a racist? That's going to be an interesting issue moving forward if Sterling decides that, hey, I'm not going to go out quietly.
George, we've got about 30 seconds left here. Doc Rivers took Sterling's money to become coach of the Clippers. Everybody has known about this for years. Players have taken money from Sterling over the years, knowing that the man had racial properties and racial issues. Very quickly, isn't that the single biggest problem we have here? This hypocrisy is stunning.
Well, and look how it played out, Ed. It took one of his bimbos to post something that was a recording that was obviously done on the side, and to get it on TMZ.com for the outrage, for the outpouring of outrage. What does that say about us as a society when this has been a systemic problem for years and years? It's really sad and pathetic.
There's the issue, systemic problem. George, excellent column today, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, my friend. Take care.
George Diaz really puts it right out there. It's a bimbo in TMZ.
Well, let's see what happens in terms of COURT. Are they going to end up in court? We'll keep our eye on that. Ed, we appreciate your input. What do you think of what happened in the NBA? We'd love your comments via Twitter @NewsmaxTV, #America's Forum. We're coming right back.